If you want to see me swatch the Cranberry palette by Natasha Denona, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to swatch the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette today. Now this palette is one that we seem to love to hate or are very passionate about one way or another. And here it is. And I have to say that I am on the fence. Now you may see on the shadows that they look a little bit different. I'm just going to see if you can see each one of the pans here. And I had an unfortunate incident, and that is that this palette came to me broken. 4 of the 5 shadows in here were messed up severely, and I was able to put it back in the pan. Nothing fell on the floor. I was very lucky. They all fell on a counter, bathroom counter that I had just cleaned. Like it was the perfect situation for a perfect setup for a bad situation to resolve itself, basically. So I put everything back in the pan, but I was really, really annoyed because I got it in the mail. It was not packaged properly from Sephora, and then on top of it, I had cashed in some points to get a code to be able to order something for $50, and so this was part of the order. And so that you cannot return or exchange, even though you did nothing wrong and the product is faulty. So I was, it's another knock on Sephora and the list of things that the retailer is doing poorly to keep my business is growing. If you want a full top to bottom, here's my experience with Sephora, I would be happy to do a video on that. Let me know if that's of interest to you. But let's just say the list is growing. Anyway, so here we go. That is what we're going to swatch, and it seems like kudos to the formula, because despite the fact that the formula is part of the problem for why these fall out of the pans in the first place, and it's a brand that is known to have that issue, it also is a formula that makes it easy to squish them back into the pan. So hopefully me repressing them with my fingers into the pan didn't affect the formula too much, but I guess we will find out with the swatches. Now I have swatched these before because I had eyeshadow all over my hands as I was fixing the palette, so it's not a big mystery to me, but I thought you might want to see what my impressions are for the swatches just for your own purposes as well. So I think I'm going to go from this shadow on, and one thing to note is that this shadow on the far right, which I was going to give to a girlfriend of mine, but now that it's messed up I can't. It's a duplicate from the Aries palette from holiday last year. And so that's kind of disappointing because you pay for 5 shadows, and so basically you're getting 4 shadows in value, because are you really going to get through a whole shadow? Now, if this palette is all you use all year, well then maybe having a second one of a pretty staple color makes a lot of sense. But for most of us, it just doesn't make sense to get duplicates in holiday type palettes. Anyway, so let's go in. I think I'm going to swatch these 3 and then finish with these 2. And so I'm going to use these 3 primary fingers, prominent fingers in the hand. Oh, and all of these shadows, by the way, do come out of the pan, and you can see the holes on the back of the palette, which is kind of nice to be able to take them apart and move them around. I think that's a big benefit of this kind of packaging. So I have the first 3 here, and so let's just do them on my hand here. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in twice with all of these. The red color, I did notice the first time, takes quite a bit of building up. So we will do that with that color. Now if you want a soft wash of color, these 2 go pretty well together as far as I can see. And here are the fingers. So I'm going to do another pass with those 3 colors. Now, as far as how they apply on the eye, I will reserve judgment because I think I need to do a look on camera with you to be able to show what they behave like. And it is right now on for half off at Sephora, which just adds to my annoyance because not only is it broken, but I paid too much. Here we go. So the first and the third are fine, but I really want to build up the middle one. And I did find that that was the case the first time I swatched it. It was really tough to get a good amount of color on this one. Here we go. All right, I'm satisfied with those 3. And again, the fingers. All right, let's wipe off the fingers and do the other 2. And I didn't give you the names, did I? We have Daisy, Sakura, and Botanic. And next we have Blossom and Nude. Okay, so we're going to go with Blossom and Nude. See if I can not make a mess here. Blossom and Nude. And fingers. Now the nude shade I had no problem with because I liked it in the Aries, so there was no problem there. And Blossom is very, very smushy. It's not a hard shadow at all. It feels more like a putty than anything else. Let's just make sure I don't mess up the swatch. There we go. And now the nude color. Nude sparkly color. Okay, there we go. There's a little something here. There we go. All right, so those are the 5 colors. And I do think you can make a very soft look with these 3 or these 3, and I think you can make a more amped up look using this one with 1 or 2 other colors. I think that this is a nice difference between the 2 reddish kind of colors. This one very much makes me think of, it gives me the richness of Christmas vibes. And the more I look at it, I really like the idea of this combination of 3 for a look. Anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching the swatches of this Cranberry palette by Natasha Denona. If you do want to see a look, please let me know. I will do it sooner than later. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.